I'm continuing my retro reviews of MASH with Season 1, Episode 9, Henry, Please Come Home. So like I said, this is the 9th episode of the first season of MASH, and in the episode, Henry is honored, rewarded for, and recognized for getting the 477 to have a super high efficiency rate. 90%, I think is what they said in the episode. And then he gets transferred to Tokyo. And the main plot of that is then Henry and Trapper trying to get Hawkeye and Trapper, their goal is to get Henry to come back because they hate having Frank as the CEO. And Frank is way more military than Henry is. And, well, it is a military unit, but you know what? This is also a comedy, and you can't have a comedy if you actually have a hardline commander. Well, actually, you can, but it has to be done right. But that wouldn't work with the MO of MASH. Plus, they're not going to get rid of Henry, so of course they're going to bring him back. For now. We all know what happened at the end of Season 3. I hope, if you don't know, if Hawkeye and Trapper hadn't gotten Henry to come back, Henry would have had a very different ending, and not just because he would have left now instead of later. But in case you haven't seen MASH, I'm not going to spoil that. But basically, they try a bunch of different things, ego and all that, but nothing can work. So what do? They get Radar to pretend to be sick, so that way Henry comes back to take care of him, because Henry does truly care about Radar and his well-being. And then Frank comes in, and for once Hawkeye and Frank agree on something, because Henry's like, you know what, let's do a exploratory surgery to see what's wrong in Radar's gut. And for once, Hawkeye and Frank agree that, no, let's not do that yet. Granted, Hawkeye because he knows what's truly going on, and Frank because he's being a stickler for the rules. But it does come to fruition that, not fruition, but it is revealed that it's all being faked. But Henry just picked up on that it wasn't just Radar doing this, it was all of them. And then the episode just ends with him playing poker and Henry trying to be a little more assertive, but then just caving in at the end. Which is well within his character. How he became such a good administrator, I don't honestly know. It was probably Radar, because Henry does make that joke earlier in the episode that Radar's the one who actually runs the unit. And yeah, Radar's the company clerk. He does all the paperwork stuff. He's just not the senior ranking surgeon. No, the senior ranking officer. He's just not that. But, and honestly, this is a fun episode. I do have to question some of the appearances of Japanese culture, in quotations, in the scenes in Tokyo. I do have to question how authentic they are to 1950s Japanese culture during the American occupation. I do have to wonder how accurate that is. I'm almost positive that, not almost positive, I'm guarantee you the accents are wrong. There's a strong chance the Japanese characters are not actually being played by Japanese actors, since the Korean characters are almost always played by Chinese actors. I don't know about the Japanese actors, but I have a feeling there's probably some product of its times going on, is probably the nicest way of putting it. And there's also, the general, not best treatment of nurses that the earlier seasons of MASH are pretty known for, but I gotta say, pretty mild. Other episodes are worse, but it's just like par for the course for the early seasons. And you know what? This is, I would say, kind of a par for the course for this season as a whole. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. You can also stay up to date on my content by following me on social media. I have a link tree down in the description which has all my social media links on it. Additionally, if you would like to support the channel, you can become a channel member and get early access to all my videos. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the force be with you always.